Hey there, Pokemon fans! You know, it's not often that a hands-on spin-off Pokemon game goes this undocumented, especially one that was so popular in the early 2000s. But here we are. May I present to you Pokémon Flippo, the fast-paced POG-throwing game that introduced the Netherlands to a whole new way to catch 'em all.
That's right, the Dutch, while most well known for windmills and popular American coffee franchises, have their own claim to fame in the world of Pokemon with this unique game. The Flippo tokens are lenticular discs that you could collect from select Smith's products, like Lay's and Cheetos. Gamers rejoice. Yeah, this marketing concept might seem all too familiar. Use the Gotta Catch 'em all model to sell more products to children. And it's easy to see the appeal. The first set of Flippo, which feature Ash and several Johto-themed Pokemon, make neat collectibles in themselves. Some of them, like this Lugia token, are more rare than the others. A second set would later release featuring Pokemon and their evolutions. Yeah, except you, Tyrogue. No one likes you! Action flips, anyone? And for those feeling overwhelmed, Pokémon Flippo included a nice web program. Hold up, I could work at Pepsi? Where you could keep track of your collection and even order any characters you were missing. It's here that you could also get your hands on this. The official Pokémon Flippo Collector's Album. With a colorful design and artwork card sleeves for your tokens, now we can safely store all of our hard-earned cardboard. And wouldn't you know it, right here on the inside of the front cover, you can find the instructions for the Pokémon Flippo game. The rules are simple. First, you and an opponent need a stack of Flippo chips. That shouldn't be too much to ask, right? Everyone loves chips. You and your POG adversary need to combine tokens to make one big stack face down. You then each select your throw token and take turns trying to knock the stack over, hopefully with as much vigor as the kid from the commercial. Once the stack has been hit, if any tokens land face up, they're yours to keep. That's gambling, kids! Then you can keep going until all the chips are gone, or until you've had enough. This would be a great way to get rid of any doubles you have for a chance to round out your collection with your opponent's tokens. If we head back to the web, not only can we download an odd Poliwhirl wallpaper, but we can also find a Pokémon Flippo flash game designed to help you practice your aim. You're given an assortment of Flippo tokens and have to push a button with the correct amount of power to land your tokens in their designated hole. And then you're given a score based on how close you land. That's great fun. And that should be it, right? POGs weren't a new idea by any means, and these lenticulars, while cool, weren't groundbreaking at the time. But this is television, baby, and foxkids didn't see it that way. In 2001, they decided to begin filming a television promo titled Pokémon Flippo Update that would eventually span 69 episodes and add lore to the Pokémon Flippo universe. I'm not making this up, so kick back and grab a bag of chips while I tell you the story of Pokémon Flippo Update. The series revolves around the host, named Lital, and a young boy named Maiko, and they're crazy about these Pokemon tokens, and are even joined in their adventures by the world's foremost expert on the subject, Dr. Flippo. In the first episode, Lital starts by listing fun facts about the different Pokemon you can find in a segment called Pokémon Flippo Flits. She does what now? Then, Maiko hits the town in his super rad ride to try and find some Flippo for himself. For some reason, he goes on a car ferry, attuned to the song Bye 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 by NSYNC. And then has to get towed out of a ditch. That's why you don't let kids drive, jeez. And they also promote a giveaway by foxkids for a Pikachu N64, a very fine choice. Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Pocket Pikachu GS. And lastly, Pokemon the Movie 2000. These are all great prizes. Yeah, even you. And that was just the first mini-episode. In the coming episodes, Maiko visits Pokemon superfans with a cool room, and hosts a challenge that is exactly the same as Guy's grocery games, except all they're finding are Smith's products. Come on, kid, go for the bolognese! What is bolognese? I don't know.
40 seconden! Ongeveer nog 40 seconden. Hey! Stop! Now get
But he did good. Maiko visits a vintage Flippo collector, Lital gets pigtails, and then we finally get to see Dr. Flippo for the first time. He is one zany dude. I mean, all of the professors are a little nutty, but this guy has a skull! Maiko tries to pick up some ladies, and then needs to refuel his ride.
Jij liet al straks gaan.
While Dr. Flippo,
Ja! Goedemiddag. Ik heb een bakje.
the show does have some good shots of kids playing the Flippo game in action. Luckily. See, people actually do play this. And then Maiko invades a home to eat all their floor Cheetos. The next episode is interesting because Maiko gets to go to the Lay's factory and see where the chips are being made. Then there's this awful scene where he raids the secret vault of Flippo tokens, right in front of this blind security guard. Then we're introduced to yet another guy, Leon, who's creeping around a public swimming pool to watch people dive for Pokemon Flippo chips. Huh, and Maiko even uses the tokens to pay his mechanic. What a world we live in. If you thought Leon was a one-and-done character, he's back for this? What the hell are they doing? The series then gets super cinematic.
Ik kan de kluis niet vinden. Hallo.
Dr. Flippo even gets thrown in jail.
Oh. Nummer 8.
Nou, die heb een dochter op.
And while he does end up getting out on good behavior, he has some questionable interactions with this woman. Remember, this is a Pokemon-sanctioned show. Nuts. We get to see Maiko and Lital finally unite on the show, and the rest of Maiko's journey through deserts and jungles. Before the cast sadly announces that this is the last episode of Flippo Update.
For this season.
The show came right back with one minor change in that Lital decided not to return, leaving a new host, Sylvie, to join the cast. Summer break is over now, so Maiko retrieves his vehicle from a barn, and Dr. Flippo is found, camping? This guy. While the dock hasn't changed much, the Flippo game has, and now there's an all-new way to play. Introducing Pokémon Flippo Powerplay. This new series looks largely the same on the front side, but once you turn the tokens over, you can see the back sides now include Pokémon type advantages. This new addition to the series can also land you a human Powerplay token.
Officer Jenny, I choose you!
And even one of 4 thicker Slammer tokens. Let's see how the rules have changed. The basic gameplay is exactly the same as before, except now you only win a Flippo if the token you throw has a type advantage over the fallen face-up chips. And yeah, that even includes the human tokens, like Nurse Joy is strong against normal things. What? But then if you use your big Slammer tokens, this adds a little spice to your game. Sure, they can knock more Flippos off the stack because they're thick and you can slam them down, but there's also an advantage in that Gary and Ash are strong against all opposing chips. The downside is that if you land your Slammer face down, you still get all fallen face-up coins, but you have to give up your Slammer token to your opponent. Life's a gamble. Just don't do what Dr. Flippo does.
Is die dicht? Weet het niet.
Anyway, let's head back to the rest of the Flippo updates and see how the series concludes. Maiko enters into shady business deals in the street. The prizes now include a cool Flippo storage tube. Maiko gets a car wash.
Ja.
And more. Dr. Flippo does more of this. Maiko makes people wear these underpants and gets a parking ticket. Then we go to the salon with Dr. Flippo. What is this show even? Out of nowhere, Leon comes back so that he and Maiko can throw mud on cars. Dr. Flippo becomes a piece of art, then takes Sylvie on a date while Maiko runs the studio. It's then announced that there's one giant Pokemon Flippo the world will never get their hands on. Oh boy. And then 47 episodes in, we get a new intro. And a new studio. That chair is one amazing chair. They now have an all-new Flippo collector folder that is very colorful, as well as surprise Flippo chips. What's under there? It's a mystery.
dan heb je een doorzichtige Flippo.
And although they get a bit of an upgrade with a visit from a magician, don't worry, the quality of the show is mostly the same. In episode 50, they discuss the unknown language, something I'm a bit of an expert on myself, and then enter the game Chips Cheese. Chips Cheese? Shoot chips. Not whatever that word is.
Chipchasen.
Chipchaser. Silly me. This is basically American Ninja Warrior with chips. It's a relay race to get the most chips in your basket before the time limit.
3, 2, 1, stop! Ja!
Ja, 12, 12.
Sylvie decides to send Maiko and the doc on a road trip so that she and this magician can do magic. You know, Sylvie, I'm something of a magician myself. Or not. What is the fascination with magicians? Anyway, Dr. Flippo and Maiko make it to Italy and begin a cross-country road trip to spread Flippo to the world. Next stop, China? Then Spain? Now wait a minute! Then Dr. Flippo befriends a cat while Maiko shows off a fold-out playmat much like the online Flash game, where you try and throw your POGs to the matching type space. We then move on to a new segment they run with Leon and Maiko called Flippo Love, where they explore a real-life love story revolving around Flippo. I just... I can't do this. Okay. Dr. Flippo shoves Maiko in a box so that he can be a magician and capture Sylvie's heart.
Gaat hem echt hoor. Nou, daar komt hij. Nee. Simsalabim. Opzouten. Kom maar tevoorschijn. Simsalabim. Terugzouten.
But it doesn't go well. Instead of trying to bring Michael back, he just tries and find a replacement, to no avail. So he visits the handsome magician guy while Harry Potter music plays.
Remember, kids, there's no copyright infringement for the Dutch.
Hey, kijk eens.
He learns a magic spell to bring Maiko back.
Dr. Flippo?
Michael?
And it works. Now that things are back to normal, Dr. Flippo picks up 2 more stray kids and sets off on an adventure to deliver the Smith snack boxes to unsuspecting fans. And just like that, we arrive at the very last Pokémon Flippo update. I can't say what I just watched, or why I just watched it, but one thing's for sure. This miniseries elevated a random Pokémon POG game into something iconic. You can tell the love and dedication foxkids put into the show, and I'm sure that it cemented Pokémon Flippo in the hearts of young European children of the 2000s. With its zany games, and one particular wacky cast member, it's easy to see why.
Thanks for watching. That was something. Remember, as always, stay awesome, Pokemon fans. Aha!
Every Pokémon Ever is 100% non-profit, by the fans, for the fans, but there is a way that you can help out. We're supporting St. Jude Children's Hospital. Donate today and help end childhood cancer.